Welcome. What a joyous day. I'm Jerry Linich. I'm the Vinnick Dean of Engineering here at Duke University, and it is a great honor for me to welcome you to this ceremony that celebrates our engineering master degree recipients. I'm sure that all of you in attendance share my unbridled joy and pride to be here today to celebrate our newest Pratt graduates. Some of you might know this little fact, but I just started my tenure as Dean of Engineering this past January. So today, for me, is even more thrilling, as this weekend is my first commencement celebration as Dean here at Duke, but more importantly, my first as a member of this amazing Duke community. Today, we also recognize the journey taken by our master graduates over these past few years, which has not been an uneventful one. Despite it all, they continually demonstrate resilience, sheer talent, and passion, and have remained undeterred in their quest for broadening their horizons, deepening their knowledge, and amplifying their impact. This journey was not one taken alone and would have not been possible without the unwavering support and love from parents, guardians, grandparents, brothers, sisters, friends, and other loved ones. Many of you who are in attendance today. If you're able, please stand. Graduates, join me in thanking your champions. Let's thank them for providing the safety net that has allowed you to explore, to succeed, and to fail, and for their steadfast encouragement and presence alongside you on this Duke journey, and with you as you embark on your next chapter. So thank you. Graduates, in 2020, the coronavirus pandemic brought the world to a grinding halt, yet you persevered and you grew. You had the courage to carry forth with your studies undaunted, and you made the best of your graduate experiences. And you did so with grace and compassion, exhibiting great care and concern for each other within our beloved community. After your years of learning, designing, testing, redesigning, leading, and serving, our faculty has now determined that you are truly ready. You have worked tirelessly to learn and grow, and you leave our campus better, stronger, and more capable than when you first arrived a few years ago. You're armed with resilience and grit and ready to take on the very biggest challenges that set out ahead of you. So watch out, world and graduates, this is your moment. Today, we do a solemn and a momentous thing. We admit you as leaders of one of humanity's most essential professions, engineering. To borrow a quote from the legendary Yogi Berra, "The future ain't what it used to be." And that is so true. While our global community has made so much progress toward prosperity since the middle of the last century, based largely on technology, which is our handiwork, your ability to take the baton today and to continue to advance the social good is going to be undoubtedly challenged by the wicked problems that lie ahead for you to solve. Challenges like rapid global urbanization, acceleration of climate change, and global spread of superbugs like viruses, as well as antibiotic bacteria, will demand your full attention and unbounded creativity to solve. While technology has undoubtedly contributed to these grand challenges, technology also holds the great promise for us to solve these challenges. Our practice-focused curriculum has given you unique capabilities to more readily apply your advanced engineering skills to create breakthrough technologies and solutions that have clearer and more immediate pathways to practice and impact. We need to acknowledge that the sheer complexity of these problems render them nearly intractable, meaning you are likely to fail before you truly succeed. But that will be part of the fun, and it will ensure that when you achieve success, it'll be all that much more gratifying. With our society going through rapid transformations driven by technology, the moment will demand you to consider the broader societal questions that frame your work. Foremost among these questions is, are our solutions equitable? As global changes introduce higher levels of disparities across our global communities, We must be extremely thoughtful about who are the beneficiaries of our solutions, with the aspiration to advance and lift the common good. This demands an all-hands-on-deck approach, meaning you must immerse yourself in diverse teams that allow you to leverage the wealth of identity, perspective, and life experiences to fuel the creative process that leads to technological discovery. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of our greatest American heroes, stated in his last public speech at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. in 1968, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." While his point is that just change takes time, I ask you graduates to not be afraid to be at the vanguard of those aiming to accelerate that needed change. Duke engineers, you are ready. You leave here equipped with your own set of superpowers that allow you to intrepidly propel yourself forward as you strive to achieve transformative solutions that our society so direly needs. You leave with resilience and grit. You leave with a graduate engineering education that has trained you to see the world differently, to ask deeper questions, and to explore all dimensions of problems for which technology is only one. And you leave with talent and passion, an ethos that is on display every day on this hallowed campus. So bottle it up and be ready to sprinkle it on every step as you step forward on both your professional and your personal journeys. So my engineering colleagues, go forth to change the world for the better, make it more resilient, and make it more just. We are counting on you to succeed, so go forth boldly and proudly. A hearty congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Dean Lynch. My name is Brad Fox. I'm the Associate Dean of Master's Programs here at the Pratt School of Engineering, and I'm really excited to be here as part of this ceremony today. It's an honor for me to introduce our commencement speakers today. I'll begin with the first of our two student speakers. At this time, I would like to welcome Arlette Geller to the stage. Arlette is a December 2021 graduate who earned her degree as a Master of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering. So come to the stage, Arlette.
Hi. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Engineering knowledge and skills are not everything you need to be a moral leader for society. Duke has been very clear about that. Emotional intelligence is the new key to success. Human behavior, culture, values, ideals, morals are aspects that nowadays are even more important than technical knowledge. The Pratt School of Engineering has shown us how it is crucial that we value and make the most out of diversity and our individual uniqueness by learning and experiencing different cultures, backgrounds, and perspectives to become better leaders. We're all here for a reason. We all have something in common. As engineers, we use scientific knowledge and technical knowledge to imagine, design, create, make, operate, maintain, and dismantle complex devices, machines, structures, systems, and processes that support human endeavor. We do not accept things how they are. We disassemble, change, recreate to stand up for what is right. I graduated this past December. I was so happy I was finally done with school and felt like I could embrace anything that the industry world could bring. I found what I thought was a perfect match for a job. As a female engineer coming from a patriarchal society and witnessing firsthand gender inequality in the healthcare field, close contact with distant realities for some made me extremely aware and driven to do something about it. I was finally part of a team fighting for women's access to basic medical care, which felt exceptionally rewarding. As you all know, techniques like artificial intelligence and machine learning, which include data management and analytics are growing faster than we can understand, and some implement them for depraved purposes. It turns out I got to directly experience this, which jolted me into reality and changed me forever. So in my dream job, I suddenly was faced with a hard decision. I was left asking myself, is it worth it? This experience reassured me how despite how noble a company's mission or meaningful the work you're doing is, their behavior will not necessarily resonate with it. When forging a professional path, it is vital to remind yourself that sometimes the company's culture, ideals, and values need to align to your own to be able to find happiness. This is the reason Duke has taught us to be resilient and to remind ourselves that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control what we think and feel about it and use it to grow as stronger leaders and better human beings. Sometimes you must go through painful experiences to appreciate what you had. Duke was even more special than I understood. People at Duke have always been here to support and to ensure our individual success and growth. For example, Paul Ferry has always had his office door open whenever I needed somewhere to cry with or advice on a difficult situation. Eric Richardson allowed me for the first time to help the healthcare community during COVID-19. And Bridget Kerwin, who gave me a chance to lead the Engineering Master's Student Council to create a supportive family within the Pratt Masters community during these challenging times. I am saddened to see the end of this journey together. I have never been in an environment of students or people that care about each other and about achieving excellence as much as I do. At the time, it may have felt like an exhausting competitive jungle, but now I realize how relevant it was so that we could push each other to be the best version of ourselves. What comes next for us is a fresh start to a very unpredictable, volatile, complex, and ambiguous society. That time will allow us to better navigate. External realities are shaping our world and lives. It is time for a new kind of leadership, leaders who will put the interests of peoples of the world over self-interest, profit, or national interest. As future moral leaders, we are the ones responsible for changing the course society is heading to and remind ourselves why society needs to prioritize the existence of cultures, well-being, health, and happiness. Thank you, Duke, for giving me the opportunity to be heard, taken seriously, and get closer to my career goals. Thank you to my friends, especially Maurice sitting here today, my family, my admired brother Jeffrey for his everlasting caring, loyalty, and devotion, and more importantly, to my parents, Lucy and Pepe, for always believing in me and giving me all the love, faith, and support to acquire experience and knowledge to continue pursuing my dreams. Thanks to all the family members and friends of students in the 2022 class for supporting us and encouraging us to remain true to ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with our graduating class. I'd like to now invite Shaimel Hitesh Anudkut to the stage. Shaimel will be graduating from the Master of Engineering in Artificial Intelligence for Product Innovation in summer of 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Fox, for the kind introduction. It's an honor to be in front of many electrifying and highly caffeinated engineers who are ready to conquer the world. I would really like to thank all the families, especially those who have made significant contributions to see this day, and the engineering department for being part of this journey. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank my late father for everything that's adding up to this moment and for always pushing me to become the best version of myself in the service of others. If there's one thing that I have learned throughout my time here, it's that of pushing forward for the things that you truly believe in. And to be able to do that, there are 3 lessons that I'd like to share. Don't worry, they're not about math or programming. The first one is actually about curiosity. A couple of years back, I was talking to a friend from undergrad, and she was traveling domestically. And while she was waiting at the airport, she was frustrated about her luggage not being there on time. I asked, what was going on? And she was like, the other flight may be delayed. And I was like, what other flight? And she's like, the flight that brings your luggage? I paused. All these years, she thought that her checked-in baggage traveled on a different plane than the one she got on. True story. While this was a hilarious moment, it got me thinking about the blind spots that we often have in our lives and things we miss because sometimes we don't have the visibility into what's happening on the back end, or we're not curious enough to ask. We manifest curiosity in the questions we ask, and curiosity is what drives innovation and progress. At the end of the day, curiosity addresses those flawed or incomplete assumptions that we have about the world around us. Curiosity creates potential and possibility. The second lesson is that of consistency in achieving what you truly believe in. Consistency is a higher level of trust, and it starts by focusing on incremental improvements. I was talking to a classmate earlier this year, and like a lot of us, he was going through the dreaded job application process. He started with his dream companies, and towards the end of the process, he was simply looking for a job. 37 resume versions later, and after 5 Friday nights at Shooters, he submitted applications to 50 companies. And I think he received an offer from 3 places and realized that 2 of those don't sponsor his visa. But he knew there was no stopping that. He realized that the more you do something, the better you get at doing it. And when you get better, improving your performance gets easier. So he strives forward to believe in what he is truly here for and what he's set to solve. And in a very short time frame, he learned to accept rejections and build discipline. And he ended up with an opportunity that will truly unlock his potential. Consistency always wins over intensity. Just like Coach K once said, champions play as they practice. Create a consistency of excellence in all your habits. So be consistent with your goals, be consistent with your mission, and be consistent with your relationships. The third lesson is about embracing change. I remember when I got the acceptance letter from Duke, which was exactly a month after my dad passed away due to COVID. I was back in India at the time. And this was a time I wasn't even sure if I would ever be able to come back to the US. But I was determined to overcome this change and embrace what was coming. And I sent a text message in my family WhatsApp chat with just 4 words, "Dream school, I'm going." And I got back exactly 4 words saying, "Looks expensive, do it." Amidst all the ambiguity and uncertainty, I rose to the occasion and chose Duke. I embraced the change in pursuit of pushing myself and becoming a student again. And before coming here, many of us might have had a specific version of our grad school experience and what we would become. And I bet most of you admit that your time here was different than what you imagined. Your goals might have changed, your dream job description changed, your roommates changed, your girlfriends or boyfriends changed, your electives changed, and some of you might have even changed your friends. So change in your plans and circumstances is completely normal. Change is constant and inevitable. Embrace it. To bring it all together, we've all come far along. As part of the Duke engineering family, we have an essential role to not only become the best version of ourselves, but also to establish a long-lasting impact on the communities around us. Duke gave us experience, ambition, and collaborative mentorship to make our plans a reality. It made us realize that no matter how hard you fail, remind yourself what matters deeply to you. Ground yourself with the values that you hold closely. Be curious, be consistent, and embrace change. I encourage all of you to celebrate today, because tomorrow we've got more work to do. Best wishes to all, and thanks for being part of this journey. Keep pushing yourself, and go Duke. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your lessons. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Professor George Della Grammaticus. He will deliver the commencement message to our graduates. Professor Della Grammaticus is Assistant Chair and Director of Master's Studies in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Material Science.
Thank you very much, Brad, for that introduction. Good morning, graduates, and congratulations. Good morning, families and friends, faculty and staff, administrators and honored guests, and also welcome to my family. Today we celebrate the great achievements of our graduates on campus, live and in person, as we send them off with words of encouragement, words that we hope will inspire them to change the world. I am under no illusion that you will remember anything I say today. I am nonetheless honored to speak one last time before you embark on your next chapter in life. So I will share thoughts that have occupied a lot of my thinking these past few years and that come from my heart. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to leave you with a series of images. But first, I'm going to start you with the last sentence of my talk, just in case you fall asleep. And that is, Duke has bestowed upon you a great burden and has issued a challenge that you will struggle to shoulder for the rest of your lives. And now here's my story. And much like the beginning of all of my lectures, I have all my notes laid out in front of me, and then I realize, no, this is not the lesson I want to tell. So I'm going to go a little unscripted today. I grew up in New York City with my brother and a family and a home that was filled with love. And everywhere I looked around me, I saw how lucky I was. Everywhere I looked, the home was filled with books, with science kits, with computers, with anything my parents were able to buy with the 2 nickels that they could rub together in their pockets. You see, when my parents were growing up, they were trying to avoid the extermination of Nazis. They were hiding in caves, and when they were very little in elementary school, they weren't allowed to go because their countrymen were trying to come after them during Civil War. So when they came to this country, they wanted to give my brother and me the best opportunities they ever had, and they were trying to teach us everything they could because they knew that education was the power toward the future. When I was much younger, one of the other lessons that my parents taught me was that you have to go out, you have to be curious, and you have to learn as much as you can, not just in books, but in real life. You meet people, you go to cultural events, and one of the lessons that stood with me was that you have to go to museums and appreciate art as well. When I was much younger, I went to the Museum of Natural History because of these lessons. In New York City, the greatest city in the world, second only to Durham, of course. And I saw this gigantic glass sphere that contained rocks and water, air, tiny shrimp, twigs, and plants. It was sealed, and it had been sealed since 1999. And to this day, the internal forces that control the population and the health of the plants, the microorganisms, the shrimp, all play out in perfect harmony. A brilliant masterpiece that sustains life. The image of this ecosphere, as it's called, and by the way, you can buy one for under $100 on Amazon Prime today. Seriously, it's 4 inches in diameter. Stayed with me for many years and again resurfaced when I was in graduate school, and I felt lost. And during that time, I started leaning on books again. I tried to read everything I could and get inspiration from the world around me. And I came upon this book by His Holiness the Dalai Lama during graduate school, in which he defined the concept of dependent coexistence. Every living thing on this planet, past, present, and future, is somehow connected. That was the lesson. The water vapor in the air you are inhaling right now somehow nourished your ancestors, perhaps those who endured the 1918 flu pandemic, or perhaps World War I shortly thereafter. Now ask yourself, what cloud will that water molecule form after you've exhaled it? And what river will it rain onto in order to bring life to someone you will never meet, distant in both space and time? Will it rain down on a desert in Africa and bring life to an oasis? Will it quench the thirst of an innocent child in Ukraine? Will it find its way into the highest political courts of our nation as they debate whether a woman has a right to her own body? Or even, will it make its way into a vaccine manufacturing plant in Europe? Did it make its way to you from the last dying gasp of breath of an innocent man who was murdered under the knee of a policeman? These are the images that are burned in our memory. This image of the ecosphere kept resurfacing for me as we all began to realize what was important in this world these past 2 years, as we began to prioritize actions, events, thoughts, and even the people in our lives. From Facebook to Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Sakai, Omegle, YouTube, Discord, Slack, MS Teams, Google Duo, Skype, FaceTime, Tinder, that 4-letter Z word I'm consciously trying to avoid, and so many other platforms, we learned that it was becoming increasingly easy to make digital connections, but it was much harder to make human connection, to connect to the humanity in people. And it was seemingly harder to sift through all that flood of information and misinformation and trust what you are actually consuming. What is truth? What has happened to our democracy? I know we all will never forget the battle over truth and ideology with disconnected families and friends. Those images are burned into the collective memory of this nation and the world. Do you also recall the tension you felt when you realized that not all people were even allowed to connect just because of the way they look and where they lived? And then, do you remember when you realized that this has been going on for generations? We used to connect with a smile, a wink, or a smirk, a frown, a handshake, or a fist bump in person. All had to be relearned briefly, and it has been a struggle for us all. We are fortunate to have had you to connect with on our campus, either in Durham or online, during this historic time. We know that you had many choices in front of you when you decided to commit to Duke. You looked at campus size, rankings, faculty to student ratio, the number of research opportunities, the types of classes. You compared the weather and the proximity to urban centers as you combed through your many options. But as you think about all these other campuses, there's one thing that not one of those institutions will ever have. And that is all of you here together to connect and share this singular moment in human history. You are why we are here and why we have struggled along each and every one of you to help transform your lives as you transformed our community and as we know you will go out and transform the lives of others. This degree that you earned is indeed a heavy load that you will undertake with great humility. It represents a badge of distinction, which is your call to continue a struggle through failure, through achievement, through the ups and downs of life. Think about how you will support this ecosystem that we are all part of. What will you add? What will you take away? How will you provide balance to all the forces? And what is your role that will help us all flourish? Remember, you are engineers and you are great problem solvers. The first problem is to find the real problems to solve. And finally, Duke has bestowed upon you a great burden and has issued a challenge that you will struggle to shoulder for the rest of your lives. Embrace it. Good luck. Go Blue Devils.
Thank you, Professor Della Grammaticus, for your inspirational message to the class of 2021-2022. Hello, I am Angus Bowers, and it is my pleasure to invite our graduates to the stage where they will be hooded by a faculty member from their program or department and congratulated by the Associate Dean of Master's Programs, Dr. Brad Fox. Family and friends, I will be calling the students up to the stage by their individual program or department. While all graduates are listed in the program in alphabetical order under their program or department, this is not the order in which they are seated and will cross the stage. Graduates, as your row is called, please make sure to exit your seat with your name card and hood draped on your arm. You are also welcome to remove your mask if you would like for the hooding ceremony and the graduation photo on stage. All right. University Program in Materials Science and Engineering. Hope and Lori Meikle, excuse me. Civil and Environmental Engineering, Yan Zhang. Angel Shi. Lijia Gao. Chen Xing Guo. Olivia August. Rachel Ellen Law. Artificial Intelligence for Product Innovation, Shaimal Unakut. Eduardo Martinez. Maria Williams. Miranda Shao Morris. Keenan Bekirli. Robert Baldoni, Jr. Leonard Michael Corelli. Christine Park. Mechanical Engineering and Materials Science, Hadia Harrigan. John Richard Bateman. Mackenzie Garcia. Uhua Chu. Yuxin Lin. Jiang Lu. Jehan Ma. Ravi Prakash. Nicholas Ryan Garside. Albert Otto Idun Hagen. Juliet Connor O'Riordan. Financial Technology, Rofan Shun. Lucas Santos Santana. Hui Yu Song. Yajie Zhang. Xiaohan Cheng. Terry Tan. Johnny Lai. Ray Chung Pong. Lianli Xu. Hui Xiong. Minglun Zhang. Yanlin Chen. Kuhang Yang. Zheng Gao Wang. Xian Chen. Yi Zhong. Pang Chung Chu. Photonics and Optical Sciences, Tian Tian Wang. Biomedical Engineering, Arlette Geller. Jackson Adams. Noel Joseph Feeney. Emma Cooper. Rachel Wellscott. Larissa Alexa Marie Melnick. Okay. Mariam Nuru. Reni Shagai Jayarathinam. Bryant Elijah Green. Lukman Isa. Desmond Smith. Derek Y. Pang. Zachary Ryan Weisblatt. Alden Tennyson. Juliana Bordas Viramontes. Alana Gabriel Gonzalez. Stephen Parker. Zachary Austin Holmes. Joshua James Milligan. Alexander Blaine Thomason. Bidisha Nandi. Valerie Winona Cross. James Joseph Butch. Jess Ramus. Casey Thurgood Lee. Zon E. Lee. William David Ladd. Sai Venkata Sron Putkum. Salma Moncayo Reyes. Aaron McLean Earl Richardson. Liu Wang. Laura Castillo. Lovik Nagawakar. Stephen Andrew Chris. Nicholas Thomas Schicciano. Giovanni Haner. Singhao Lu. Omar Raimundo. Dominic D. Dawes. Yushuan Chen. Minji Xu. Zhou Ming. Zixie Lin. Jixiong Li. Xiao Tang.
Arlette, come on down.
Hello, I'm Bridget Fletcher, Managing Director of Graduate Student Programs and Services. I'd like to ask you to join me in yet another roaring round of applause for our amazing graduates. You are clearly all beloved. Look what just happened here. I love it. Today we've come together from near and far to honor these amazing individuals and mark their academic achievements. These graduates are prepared with the knowledge and skills they need to do great things in research, industry, and beyond. They will create solutions to problems we have yet to identify and help create a future we have yet to imagine. We send them off proudly and confidently, knowing they are ready for the challenges that lay ahead. Graduates, your time at Duke and this time in history has been shaped by uncertainty and challenge. You have learned skills you never could have otherwise. Lean into that experience and chaos. Draw on your deep understanding and appreciation of possibility, and do the great things you are prepared to do because of the river of uncertainty you have had to, rather, gotten to, navigate. Thank you once again to our guests that have traveled from near and far to celebrate these remarkable students, and thank you once again to our graduates for all you've done and all you will do to make Duke proud. In a moment, I'll ask the first row of graduates to rise and recess out of the theater row by row. Once our graduates have all exited the theater, we ask that our guests please exit swiftly, as we have another ceremony beginning very shortly after this one. Thank you for being here today, and thanks once again to our graduates. Congratulations. I'll now ask the first row to rise, and row by row, you can recess out the stairs to my left. Congratulations.